Let's whip out a Vikings mailbag. Hee-yah! All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we got a handful of questions from you guys. I'm very excited to answer.
Yes, I'm also excited to answer those questions as well. And I'm also excited about Liftbridge Brewing Company. Head over there in Stillwater. They got a couple new beers on tap. Key lime pie and delicious mini donut, I believe. So get them right there. They had those at the State Fair. Now they're actually in the tap room in Stillwater and New Richmond. So check it out if you're in the area. Or not, just make a trip.
Let them know Onebar and Lupagus sent you. I'm sure they'll be very excited about that. Mini donut beer. I haven't tried it. Sounds amazing.
I've had the pop, and it is very it's like you're drinking a donut.
Pop. I'd like to see in the comments, do you call it pop or soda? Pop or soda. That should be in the mailbag. But let's do it. Let's dive into the mailbag. A lot of stuff going on. And these are all I probably should have went and laid them out in a fairly decent order, but I'm just throwing them at the wall.
It's not our style.
Are you more concerned about the center position or the cornerbacks moving forward?
Right now. Moving forward, I'm more concerned about the center position. I just don't know if we have a guy who can step up and take over that's going to be any better. At least with the cornerback position, if Patrick Peterson struggles, we have two young guys. I know Andrew Booth Jr. is going to be out this week, but at least you have the guys. You drafted some guys to replace it, so you got some hope. You can't say the same about the center.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the cornerbacks, and it's just because I think our offensive line is – I think we can mask Garrett Bradbury a little bit. We've done a good job over the years of – I mean, he's not very good. He's damn near bad. But we have some good players around him where Kirk Cousins, this offense, they're going to make it work around a shitty center. So it's not even close for me. I'm more concerned.
Some people say I should wear a mask.
You should wear a mask. In fact, if you want to put one on right now, we'd love to wait.
I don't have one laying around here.
All right. As always, in the comments, let us know. You can feel free to answer these questions as well. Without a training camp to show what he can do, is there an opportunity for Jalen Reagor to earn significant time on the field as a receiver?
I'll let you go ahead and start with this one.
I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, look at the guys he's got in front of him. Barring an injury, I think he'll snuggle in nicely to that number 4 wide receiver. He's not going to come in and overtake Osborne. I hope they find some sort of plays, gimmicky plays to get him out there. But I think it'll be very few and far between. And this isn't the last Reagor question we have, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really think it has anything to do with the preseason. Just it's a matter of the mouths to feed, and like you said, who's above on the receiving depth chart. I think they will, like you mentioned, also get him a couple gadget plays, and also maybe try to send him deep a couple plays and try to hit a long one, a big gainer, an explosive, maybe just a bomb to start a game like Green Bay tried to do against us last week. I think that's what Jalen Reagor's role is going to be, aside from him being the punt returner.
I'm glad you mentioned that Green Bay play. Do you remember when Christian Watson just dropped that thing, went right through his hands?
Yeah, you know, I actually kind of do still remember that. I do.
Yep. Not a great start.
It wasn't.
All right. Well, somebody wants to talk 2023 NFL draft already, and they ask, what do you think are the Vikings' top 3 priorities for the 2023 draft? Basically, if the draft was tomorrow.
Well, I mean, you got to get your quarterback of the future on this roster. Kirk Cousins, I mean – a couple more years with Kirk. I don't know how much longer they're going to ride him out. You'd like to have the quarterback of the future on the team. Nick Mullins is your backup right now, so you want to develop somebody, so that's definitely a need. I think you're going to need a tight end. I can't see Irv Smith Jr. coming back at this point. That's going to be a need. I still think you want another corner and somewhere on the D-line, whether it's a straight-up nose or a 3-4 end, one of those 5-tech guys. I think those are going to be all high needs for the Vikings next year.
I think you just listed like 9 positions. So I think we were drafting
3 or 4, wasn't it?
Every single position, it sounds like. Yeah, I got center. Easily center is probably the top need for me. Tight end, Herb's gone, like you said. And then defensive line, get a nice 3-4 D end in there to come and join these guys. I think the quarterback's like way down for me. I mean, they're all in. It's not like they're going to just tear this thing down next year. So Kirk Cousins is the guy. I'd love to see him draft a quarterback in like round 5 or something, but they can wait quite a while for that. There's no rush.
If you get a guy in round 5, better be some mobile bastard who just runs around like a Tyler Huntley or somebody like that.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell picking out his quarterback. This is new territory. This ain't Spielman picking out a quarterback.
Well, he did it like twice, didn't he?
No, he did it tons of times, tons of trades, tons of horrible draft picks. Speaking of quarterbacks, this is random, has nothing to do with the Vikings, but they want to know which quarterback contract do you think will look worse? Kyler Murray or Russ Wilson?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, Russ is 33 years old. He signed a 5-year, $242 million, 161 guaranteed. Kyler, 25 years old, 5 years, $230 million, 189 guaranteed. And based off of that Broncos game where they're just going to kick a 64-yard field goal, aside from letting Russ attempt, I mean, I would take Kyler Murray probably 9 times out of 10 in this situation.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way on this. I think the situation in Denver had to do with the first-time head coach is kind of being overwhelmed in this big spot and not really – I think he just lost control of that game, made some bad decisions. But Kyler Murray, I mean, at least we've seen Russell Wilson do it. Yeah, he's the most vanilla, generic guy you'll ever meet in your life, saying things like let's go and let's ride all the time. But at least he has a large body of work where he has been the man. He has performed. He has won his team's games that they probably should have lost. Kyler Murray, to me – ever since about halfway through last season, just looks like a shitty quarterback. He's missing wide open receivers, making bad decisions, and he doesn't have the body work Russell Wilson does. And yes, age factors in there, but right now I think Russell Wilson's probably gonna turn around before Kyler Murray does.
If they were both like 25, it wouldn't even be close to be Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's old as shit. And agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take.
Looks great.
There's probably like 15 quarterbacks I'd take over Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way with Kyler Murray. I'm just not a fan.
It's got the wow factor.
Yeah, Wallace.
What Russell
he just made.
What Russell Wilson used to have.
Yeah, it's one game for Russell Wilson, so I'm gonna wait.
What is he doing in Seattle lately, though?
He had a pretty shitty team around him. I don't know. He's done it, though. He's done it. All right. Lupagus needs a cup of coffee or something. Maybe a shot of whiskey. Another AFC or another un-Vikings related. Who do you guys think will win the AFC? I'm all in on the Bills. I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL, and I think they'll definitely win the AFC. Though the Chiefs are looking pretty damn good, too. I'm still going Bills.
That's Bills. It's not even close. How would the Vikings look right now if they had hired Jim Harbaugh instead of KOC? And this is SSM Creations. He's infatuated with Jim Harbaugh. I think every mailbag we've done, he's gotten some sort of Jim Harbaugh question here, but I like this question.
Go ahead and start if you like it so much. You can marry it.
Yeah, I think it would be completely different. I think he would have ripped it down. I think we'd have a completely different quarterback. I think he would have gave Kirk Cousins away. I think we would have tore this thing down, and I think that's why they wanted nothing to do with them.
There was something there that turned him off.
Maybe it was his khaki jeans, khaki pants, slacks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can even answer this. I don't know what happened, what turned them off, what the thing was that made this interview. There was a point where they knew this was not their guy. So he said something, did something. Did he want control? But yeah, you're right. This thing will look 100% different than it does right now. How different? What would be different? I don't know, but it would be different.
I mean, Harbaugh is kind of I don't know what the word is. He would want this to be his team. He wouldn't. Seems like the type of guy that doesn't want to inherit anything. He wants to tear it down and make it exactly his.
Yeah. So this year probably been pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Probably a rebuild.
Nah, I'm thinking like.
Oh no, for him.
Some sort of word. Anyways, Jalen Reagor. I said there was another question. Damn it, there is. Do you think the Vikings will find a way to get Jalen Reagor in this offense strictly because they're playing the Eagles on Monday? Get Jalen Reagor a nice feel-good story play.
You know, I don't think it's their style. I think the feel-good story is going to come with him getting his punt return opportunities. I don't think they're going to get him in there just to get him in there. If the personnel calls for it, the situation calls for 4 wide receivers, then yes, I think he'll be out there. I don't see them just getting him out there to get him out there against his former team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin O'Connell, though, seems like the type of guy, just a player's coach. You know, the players would just absolutely love the thought of Reagor, especially against the Eagles. Got some history there with the Vikings. I don't think they'll force it. I bet they'll give Reagor at least some play or some package. Whether it works or not, who knows? They're not going to force it. But I bet they try at least a little bit.
It depends on game flow. If it's a blowout, Vikings are up by 30 late, then yeah, they'll probably put Jalen Reagor out there. But
put him at a quarterback.
He's not going to sacrifice his game plan to get Jalen Reagor some touches or looks.
I just think it'll be part of his game plan. I don't think he's going to change it up all of a sudden during the game.
Same. If it's part of the plan, then yes. If it's not, then no.
All right. If you could pick one game to go to this year, what would it be?
Well, I'm going to the Patriots game, so I guess I'm going to go with that one. That's what I'm going to. But, yeah, I guess, it depends. If there's a one late in the season that's got a huge, Vikings win, they're in. That's kind of the game you want to go to. But I'm going to the Patriots one, so I'm going to the Patriots. So
you want to go to the one that you're already going to?
Unless there's one that has some huge meaning, like Vikings win this game, they're in the playoffs, they win the North. I mean, yeah.
All right. Lupagus already picked the game he wants. He's going. I would. I'm doing at Buffalo. Easy at Buffalo. Crazy ass fans watching these dudes jump through tables, get shit faced, play the best team in the AFC, and it's an away game. I've never been to an away game. I can't. It sounds amazing.
Like I said, I thought it had to be a home game.
Any game.
Oh, I mean, I'd like to see the Bills too. That'd be very interesting.
All right, let's talk throwback jerseys. What era your favorite throwback jersey you'd want to see the Vikings?
I gotta be honest, I'm not one of these guys who get hung up on the old jerseys. A lot of guys, I see this all over Twitter, like complaining about the jersey. We need to bring these back, Some people get so hard up on it. I love that every era I think should have its own jersey, so you can go back and think about, okay, this is the time frame, this is what they wore. That being said, I do like the darker purple with the gray face masks. I do like that.
Yeah, I like the. I'm going 80s, early 90s, purple stripes on the sleeves. In the 60s, there were some pretty cool ones too. But yeah, the early 2000s, those things were just gross and ugly.
I actually like those, to be honest. Late 90s. I'm a fan of those.
All right, a couple more to wrap this thing up. They say, I know it's only been one game, but Bradbury didn't suck against a better than average nose tackle. Think this was luck or a sign of things to come?
I can't say it. I can't say it's things to come based on his larger body of work. 3 years of watching this guy. I'm not going to say one good game. It's completely fixed now. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this continues, that we see this again. I know he doesn't have a big old. I mean, Fletcher Cox is there, but I'm hopeful. I don't think it's fixed by any means, though. It wouldn't shock me if he just gets his ass destroyed on Monday.
Well, it's funny because that game, he didn't look horrible. He just looked like normal Bradbury, but his PFF scores were absolutely horrible. Like, this was worse than even he's usually been. He graded out at 59, 27 against the pass, allowed 4 pressures, and that's below his even normal average. So he had a shittier game than he even usually plays.
Yeah, that's where those PFF ones, sometimes they just don't match up with what you see. Zadarius Smith also graded out low, which I found absolutely shocking. Yeah, I don't know. He looked good that game. The grades show something different. I don't think he's all of a sudden figured it out.
No, at all. Never, ever is going to figure it out. Final. Ellis Gregor always throwing in the historical question. Favorite 5 linebackers of all time?
Any team or just Vikings?
Vikings.
Jesus Christ. Criminy. Why don't you start?
He actually said your top 5, but I changed it to favorite because, like, guys like Matt Blair obviously isn't a top 5, but I never saw him play, so I don't count him. That's not it's not polite. But it's the same thing with Tarkenton. I mean, obviously he's one of the best, but I never put him in my list because I didn't get the chance to see him. So I went with favorite.
Well, yeah, and I hate making lists on the fly, but I got 3 right at the top of my head.
We'll fire him off.
Well, obviously, you go in a little bit old school. Jack Del Rio, watching him play. I love that guy back in the day. God, there's another one who played around his time. I can't think of who the hell it was. But, I mean, E.J. Henderson, that guy was an absolute beast. Love watching E.J. Henderson out there. Then you got to go modern day Eric Kendricks. I love the way Eric Kendricks plays the game. So those are 3 right off the top of my head. How about you?
Studwell.
Yep, Studwell.
Kendricks, Greenway, Ed McDaniel, one of my favorites all time. And Jeff Brady. I used to love Jeff Brady.
That's what I was thinking of, Jeff Brady. Yep.
Number 50. There was a couple cool linebackers in that mid-90s era where we weren't very good, but they like Ray Berry. There's some awesome linebackers back in the day.
Honorable mention goes to the Reindeer, Ontarius Thomas, and Reynolds Smith.
I don't know why there's music playing right now. I don't know where this came from.
You have ESPN up or something?
Luke Combs just came out of nowhere. Renald Smith. Yeah, there's some dandies out there, but that is it. Our mailbag is empty. It is spilled on the floor. Very good questions. Appreciate everybody hopping in and sending those over. We like doing mailbags every once in a while. Yeah,
we had a lot of split decisions this time. We don't always disagree, but this time we had a couple.
I like it.
Differing opinions. Yeah, it's always good to have different opinions. So, all right, guys, we'll have game predictions sometime tomorrow. Look for that. Obviously, a huge game this Monday night. Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. Should be a dandy of a football contest. And we'll wait for that to happen. Remember this, sharks don't have a urinary tract. They pee through their skin.